Hello, dear friends of pleasure. This feeling of taking her intensely, thrusting with all your manly strength, gives you an exciting sensation, a feeling full of arousal, desire, and control. Just be the man who knows what he wants. You hear her moan, her excited cries, and you realize she enjoys it. You perceive how you resonate on the same wavelength. The feeling of satisfying her properly reinforces you, and you continue. You are the doer, the lover, the hero. You thrust into her faster and faster. You feel your arousal rising and suddenly realize that you can no longer hold back and reach your climax. How you thrust has a massive impact on how good the sex is for you and your partner. If you do it wrong, you will either disappoint her or even hurt her. If you do it right, she will beg you for more. And that's exactly what you want, isn't it? I will help you become the best. That's why I am sharing my 6 best tips today on how to thrust effectively and truly satisfy your partner. Of course, I will also give you tips on how to have intense sex without having to worry that it will all be over too soon. So, how you can prolong your orgasm. If you follow my 6 tips, I guarantee you will drive your wife crazy and she will beg for more. My name is Antje, I am your sense coach, and I help you with desire and frustration in your love life. Every week, I will give you the best insider information about what's new, what your partner really wants, and the most effective methods to satisfy them sexually. Press the subscribe button now so you don't miss any more videos. Let's get started. Starting slowly, when it comes to thrusting, is always best. It's important to begin gradually and build up over time. The reason is that a woman's body needs much more time than a man's. The vagina expands during sex to allow for deep penetration, but this does not happen immediately. It takes time. This means that if you, like many men unfortunately do, thrust too hard and too deep right from the start, as you see in porn films, it will become an uncomfortable experience for most women. Your partner may not tell you this to avoid hurting your feelings, because she feels uncomfortable, or because she thinks it should feel this way, since all the other men before you did it the same way. But regardless, you should understand that it is not pleasant for her due to biology. Her body needs time to warm up. Even if you don't need as long, be deliberate. Take the valuable time at the beginning, as it will be worth it for both of you. So start slowly, give her body time to relax and open up, and trust me, she will appreciate that you are doing it differently and paying more attention to her, because that makes you special. 2021. Before you penetrate her, make sure that you are both ready. Above all, that she is nicely moist and feels comfortable so that you can get started.
Tip no.
Vary the depth very carefully. To better describe this technique, I have brought you a very special vegetable that is meant to represent your penis. We will now divide the penis into 3 parts, into 3 areas. That means this is the first third, the second third, and this is the third third. The whole method proceeds extremely slowly and thoughtfully. The advantage of this is that a partner has time to become aroused and becomes nicely wet through this technique. But you have to be patient, as it is a challenge for you since you need to control yourself, even when it feels so good. So when you penetrate her, I'll put it this way. Penetrate from the tip of the penis into the first third. Then pull back. Go in 2-3, bring 2-3 into her. Then go back to the first third. Return to the second third. Pull completely out of her. Then back in 1-3. Back to 2-3, 1-3, 2-3, and
2, third, and
back to the tip of the penis.
pretty simple, right?
Repeat steps 1 to 4, and it is also very important to pause after each step. Of course, you can flexibly vary the different sequences of movements, but always only up to 2-3 of your penis.
This is the plan.
Enjoy how your wife becomes increasingly impatient. Whenever you make that movement to the left, right, up or down during the pauses, and you hit her vaginal wall, the secretory glands located in the vaginal walls are stimulated, which makes your wife wetter as well. If you notice that your wife is about to lose it, finally do her the favor and engage with your entire penis from the base into her. Even though it requires a lot of restraint and control from you, pause again. And if you notice that she may not be quite ready yet, give her the time to get in the mood and repeat the process until she is also physically ready. This method is particularly suitable for women who need a lot of time to engage with my husband. Here, do not become moist too quickly, whether due to illness, medication, menopause, or other causes. Stimulate your partner with kisses or whisper sweet things in her ear, depending on what mood you are in. If you, as a man, use this technique and do it slowly and sensitively, you will ultimately benefit greatly from it. By moving very slowly within your partner, your arousal also increases slowly but steadily, and in most cases, a powerful climax is then guaranteed for you.
Tip no.
Teasing her can excite and arouse. You can arouse your partner anytime and anywhere. If you want to tease your partner to the point where she can't get enough of it, then provoke her. And just like that, your partner feels the desire and wants to feel you. When you have already entered her and you notice how much she is enjoying it and getting really hot, you abruptly pull back and hit the pause button. So you stop right where you are, even though you are already fully engaged. Either you completely pull out of her and stop the act entirely, or you stay where you are and do not move forward or backward. It is very likely that your wife did not expect it this way and will ask you what is wrong or if something is not right. But this time you don't address it at all. Instead, you kiss her in a way that she can't ask you anymore. You will notice how she becomes more restless, because through your withdrawal, her arousal is now intensifying as well. She wants you back, to feel you. She wants to enjoy that feeling again, which you just gave her. You have fed her desires, aroused her pleasure, and now she wants that enjoyment back. And the more you deny her, the hungrier you make her. Also, make sure you don't drive her crazy. Alternatively, you can choose the second variation by selecting an unexpected moment to slow down your thrusts. If you notice that you are getting into a harder and faster rhythm that she is currently enjoying, let her enjoy it for a moment. Then you pull back, accelerate again, and shortly thereafter slow down the pace once more. Reduce the speed and intensity of your thrusts. Enter her slowly and gently and observe how she reacts. Make her addicted to you. Her desire for you will double or triple when you finally give her what she wants. Of course, she will beg you to give it to her, but then you know that you have her exactly where you want her. As soon as you build up speed and intensity again, you will see the powerful effect this feeling has on her body. But be careful not to try this technique right before her climax, as that would be the absolute mood killer. If I were in this situation, I would probably kill you. Or at least, if you deprive me of my orgasm. If you want to avoid murder and violence, pay attention to her reaction, so that this cardinal mistake does not happen to you. Otherwise, it is a brilliant technique that really always works.
Tip number 4. Vary the pace.
If you thrust at the same pace for an extended period, it is very likely to become boring. And this is because the nerve endings of the penis and vagina get accustomed to the pace, making us less sensitive. Therefore, vary the tempo during the act. When you are just starting to kiss passionately, take it slow.
Enjoy the moment.
When you are nearing the end and you are close to your climax, while you are, for example, taking her from behind, you can thrust harder and faster. Ultimately, you should trust your feelings in your heart and aim for the pace that you believe is most appropriately suited for that moment. Just don't overthink it. Because as long as you create some variations in pace during the time you have sex with your partner, You are already better than most men and bring variety to your lovemaking.
Tip no.
4. Do the coal shoveler. I ask you to incorporate this movement into your repertoire from now on, and you'll soon find out why. The term coal shoveler refers to this movement. You move your pelvis in such a way and press closely against her pelvis between her legs. You carefully and pleasantly press on her labia and additionally stimulate several points on the clitoris and in her vagina. Unfortunately, this unique technique is ignored by many men, even though it is so simple. Because trust me, if you want to be different from the other men, start using this method from today. Most men focus on this normal in and out movement, which does stimulate the G-spot, the woman, and other nerve endings. But you overlook the most pleasurable and sensitive part of the female body, the clitoris. By using the coal shovel technique, you unconsciously apply pressure to her labia and clitoris. Your wife will love it, and you will be her personal hero. For understanding, the clitoris is not just this small button thing that is hidden down there under the so-called hood. It has about 8,000 nerve endings. In comparison, a penis has only about
4,000.
And we are only talking about the nerve endings that run along the surface.
1,000.
The clitoris, with its many nerve endings, naturally reacts extremely to pressure when you press against it, and the labia. This means that if you press against the clitoris and perform the coal shovel technique, not too hard and not too soft, instead of just going in and out, you have the opportunity to stimulate her clitoris from the inside and the outside. What else can your wife ask for when you can convey this feeling of pleasure to her in 2001, and you touch her in the most sensitive part of her entire body there? The applications in certain positions, such as the missionary position or the cowgirl position, make it very easy to exert this pressure. In other positions it may be a bit more difficult, but it is not impossible. So just give it a try, Yusan, because you can't always say what is best for everyone, as every woman feels differently.
You will definitely find it.
In any case, I recommend that you definitely use this technique. It is not only a great tool to bring more pleasure to the woman you are sleeping with, but also a fantastic way to take a break, slow down the pace, and recharge your energy. If you have trouble reaching climax too early, try the coal shovel technique to bring yourself back down, allowing the arousal to subside so you can start again.
Tip no.
5. The method. As the method may already suggest, this is about the relationship of the thrusts, whether deep or shallow, slow or fast, hard or soft.
For example, you do
10 long thrusts and 1 quick thrust, or conversely, 1 quick thrust and 10 long thrusts. In practice, you count slowly to 10 and then thrust hard once, or vice versa. Another option would be if you also thrust only 1/3 or 2/3 of the way during the 2000 slow thrusts, and then penetrate with your full size. Optionally, you can also use the 7-3 method instead. This means, for example, 3 deep thrusts and 7 shallow thrusts, or vice versa, 7 deep thrusts and 3 shallow thrusts. You can creatively repeat this method multiple times, with or without a break. With the options to vary your pace, your strength, and your depth, try out what suits you. If you get confused with the counting, let it be as you think and feel. After all, you shouldn't lose the fun of it. Don't forget to pay attention to your partner. Amidst all the passion, 2001. Her reaction will always show you whether it feels good for her as well. If you are unsure, just ask to make sure that she is not in pain. It is also advisable not to use this method right at the beginning, as your partner should have reached the appropriate level of moisture. Start off slowly in principle and gradually build up. If you and your partner are having fun and are open to new things, explore together and enjoy it.
Tip no.
Pay attention during sex, whether you are thrusting, doing the coal shovel, or something else. You should notice how the woman responds to you and your thrusts, as well as the signals her body is sending. This knowledge helps you achieve orgasmic experiences again and again. It's like riding a bike. Once you can do it, you won't lose it. So pay attention to what happens with your partner and how she reacts when you are intimate. This alone will make you a much better lover than most men. When you follow all these tips, you won't have to be afraid anymore. For the woman you choose to satisfy will certainly desire you and will keep coming back to you. However, there is one more thing you should know when it comes to satisfying a woman in bed. What most men do not know is that women enjoy sex with a man much more when they feel emotionally connected to him. For most women, sex is not just a physical experience, but also an emotional one. Even if you have just met her or are having a one-night stand, the better and more intense the emotional connection, the better the sex will be with her, and the more sex you will have together. She will also open up more and may find it easier to reach orgasm. Of course, you can't force such a bond, and sometimes you just have to admit that no matter how attractive the lady may be, the chemistry simply isn't there. But I'm sure you'll handle it well. I am curious to hear about your experiences with my tips and how you implement them, and I would of course be very happy to receive comments from you.
Otherwise,